Yeah, I don't know if it'll be adopted one day, but we get fresh, unique picks, Jenkins, like the Jakiro, which we don't get to see a whole lot. And here he is with his beautiful two heads. What does it say? I mean, I guess they're mediocre at hitting towers. Jakiro really fills that void a bit. He's great. With the theory that Bristle really loves those long-winded fights. The more quills he can get off, the more right clicks he can get off, the better. And Jakiro also loves long-winded fights, more fighting into the
True.
macro pyre, more liquid fires, more double breaths or whatever. But is there anything more to it than I might be missing here with Jakiro?
It's maybe they're gonna combo with it. Maybe some Naga is gonna come out, something like that. But really, I honestly think Jakiro's just an underrated hero. I think Jakiro is A plus tier, possible S tier that's just not
Oh,
really
dang.
fully explored yet. The harass in the laning stage is just insane from the
Mm,
dual breath. The stun, the ice path. This is one of the best stuns in Dota that's ever been in Dota. Ice path, 2.5 second duration, massive stun. The ultimate is fantastic for counter pushing, team fighting, everything. Like you said, these long winded fights. It doesn't really seem like there's too much big synergy on Thunder Predator. It just kind of seems like a very well rounded draft with heroes that do a little bit of everything, a little bit of tower push, team fight, uh, ganking, everything.
I'm definitely with you. I feel like, Jakiro has a toolkit that just cannot really be ignored, but is being ignored by a lot of teams, and certainly the more high profile teams. So I'm eager to see what Thunder Predator are going to bring with it. Dragon Knight is a response from Cloud9, your old trusty Sir Davian, if you will, who can hold down that mid lane and pressure it forward, or off lane. I mean, we have an Ember already in the game, and we don't know who's
Carry
playing off
maybe
lane yet.
could
Or
also be
carry.
carry.
Yeah, put
Yeah,
this guy anywhere. I love it because of the old days. It felt like his rightful home was mid or nothing,
right,
and
right.
then the off lane era came in, and I thought that was great. So really,
Yeah,
the flexibility of Dota is just wonderful. Other games out there, it feels like you play a hero and he's stuck in one aspect of the game, but Dota can be a breath of fresh air and a lot of
yeah.
new ideas. Doesn't mean it always works out, but at least it's something fun.
Yeah, yeah. Dragon Knight, he's a little more on the boring side of heroes, but it's the new play style that people do. All right, let's see what this. Okay, Beastmaster, pretty traditional draft. Pretty traditional draft, I would say, from Thunder Predator.
Hmm.
Just a lot of really good, well-rounded heroes, including the Beastmaster. But this Dragon Knight hero, when you get that Heaven's Halberd, when they changed it to give you HP bonus HP regen, and then of course it's given status resistance for a long time, it just became insane on Dragon Knight when
Yeah.
paired up with that passive. So the build people do on DK now is quite boring. It's basically like bracers, treads, halberd,
Yeah.
BKB, no radiance, nothing like that. But it's just so hard to kill him. We saw it in
Yeah.
the previous series with Rioya. They doomed him. They used everything on him, and he's just so tanky when he gets that halberd.
I get what you mean when you say boring because I would agree. He's very kind of boring. I'm talking about with basketball references, the other players who are able to dribble between the legs. This is the guy from the 50s who's doing bounce passes like way too legit and bank shots. It's like, oh, cool bank shot, nerd. But you know what? The bank shot goes in and it gets points and it gets the win. That's
It
what really
does,
matters, and that's
yeah.
what a Dragon Knight really is. And you're talking about the well-roundedness of Thunder Predator, and I really do agree. They have a little bit of everything for fights and for lanes, but it does feel like it does miss a little scalability. It does look like just a fast lineup overall. Like they're going to want to be very push-heavy. And then Cloud9 now have a Morphling who loves the later innings, who
Oh,
loves
offlane
Act
Dragon
3.
Knight.
But there it
You
is.
were
Snake King.
100% right.
Wow. And for Snake King to play it too, that's going to be interesting in its own right. That would mean that well, what does it mean? Does this mean Morphling could go mid, or is it better to have the Ember, face off against that Shadow Fiend?
I think give Envy some levels and then let him run around and make space. I do really like the fact that they're putting Snake King on a very untraditional offlaner, something that's more like we said, Dragonite plays as a carry because if you look at Snake King historically, he's played really the carry position from the offlane for a long time, which depending on the meta can be good or bad. Ace obviously a carry player, but Envy when he plays mid, good lord, that guy runs around and fights nonstop.
Yeah.
If he leaves the lane, he does not go back. He never goes back. So to have two heroes that are essentially carries to make space for in the side lanes, I think makes a lot of sense with how these players like to play.
Yeah. It just feels like it's the game plan's there, but they got to succeed. Cloud9's laning phase wavers, I think Thunder Predator could run away with this game, and it's going to be a test. I mean, Leo Style, already known as a prolific mid laner, he's got a Shadow Fiend to work with now. It's got to feel pretty good there, and if they're able to kind of build up a lot of momentum, win at least 2 of the lanes, we could see trouble if Bristleback comes around the corner and he's got a couple of items under his belt, and Ace is in a position where he just needs more time, let's say. So we'll have to see. I'm very excited about this one. I didn't know if you kind of gave your best prediction for this, but since we do have the draft before us, who would you wager in this if you had to bet some push-ups, let's say?
Okay. Well, I would say, I can't do a single push-up, but I appreciate the thought. But I would say I'm probably leaning towards Thunder Predator.
Okay.
I am really worried about this Leo Style versus Envy matchup. I feel like Leo Style is mechanically one of those players that can duke it out with the best of the best mid laners. He's incredibly high skill. Maybe he's a little lacking in the other parts of Dota, possibly, but you could argue, but definitely not. Definitely not mechanical skill in the mid lane. And Envy, as a new mid laner, is he struggled. And I think Leo Style is going to be his hardest matchup yet, honestly. So because of that, I'm thinking Thunder Predator will stomp in the laning phase and snowball from that. That's kind of how I feel about this.
Yeah, and that's really what their lineup wants to do. And I would kind of share similar feelings. But I hope to see some strong showings from Cloud9. As I said, they're still trying to score their first series win since they've come together as a team. Really unfortunate because of this global situation, and they have a pretty kind of international type team. Even some of their own teammates, I imagine, are working with a bit of ping. Though I've heard, Jenkins, is this true? Maybe it was even you guys who were talking about it. The ping is better coming into NA than it is going out. Europe playing over here is better for whatever reason.
Right, for whatever reason, the routing, or I don't know, it is the case where
the routing. There's people in there. They're unplugging, like the old operator, just unplugging and plugging them back in. Like, we'll get this one for you, boss.
Exactly. Oh, is this guy playing Grimstroke? All right,
hold on, unplug that one. Unplug that one over there, where we got a Jakiro game happening. Early game pause, obviously, because of the situation. Thunder Predator are playing with that little bit of a lag, so it'll take a little bit of extra time to get loaded and ready, but it looks like we are getting there, and it gets us an opportunity to look at the forecast of the lanes. Very thematic bottom lane for Cloud9, Ancient Apparition, and the Morphling Ace. I always kind of, AA, I understand where he falls in the lineups, and he's got those cute little bits of synergy, and he can, take it to anybody who's trying to sustain and trying to heal up with his Ice Blast. But the laning, I feel, is really hard for him. Am I wrong? I feel like if he gets hit up by another support that's just a bit more aggressive and offers a bit more, he can just end up feeding in a lane.
That's definitely true. I would say this is one of the top feed heroes in Dota. You got your Lions, you got your AAs, your Witch Doctors. These are the heroes that run in whoopsie, out of position for 0.5 of a second.
Whoopsie.
All right.
I'll try to pull that one out my pub. Oh, whoopsie, boys. You know how it goes. I fed the mid lane. Why are you in the mid lane?
They'll get it. They'll understand. They understand exactly what that means. Oh, it's a dumbass position 5 feeding. Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah,
right.
I
agree.
It's Pylai Die too. So of all the people, he has that known history for being the number 6, the probably the most first bloods to ever occur in the game of Dota, but a crafty veteran in his own right. And if he does scale, if he does get those levels, he could be a problem. So don't sleep on the man. He has got that early ring of Bassi as well. Dota has become an early aura game for a lot of these supports with the headdress and with the Bassi. So as long as everybody has their part and offers a little bit, Misery has boots early. So hopefully it works out to their favor for the Bassi instead of the regen.
Yeah, we'll see. I always find the starting builds very interesting now because of the careers. There's so many different things you can do. Like we Bassi on Pylai Die. Eternal Envy has 4 branches, which in the mid lane, that's not traditional. He's rushing a bottle. Snake King, okay, normal build, but he started with a stick. Starting with a stick, if this wasn't 2020 and patch 7.25, that would be just a ridiculous starting item.
Yeah.
Magic Stick? Are you kidding me? Boots on Misery? Like all of these starting builds are just crazy compared to a few years ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the whole concept of offlane DK, it's just like, what am I watching right now? This must be
Yeah,
some crazy 2K pub or something. But no, this is where Dota is right now. And, snaking may show everyone in the world what this offlane DK is really all about, rather, as Misery starts poking in with that early Fade Bolt. They got the wand early, anticipating this matchup against MNZ's Bristleback. So they just got to make sure they don't overuse it too early because Inkswell is something to be feared.
definitely, definitely. If you're snaking, you're probably pretty comfortable up here though once you get the passive because Bristle is all physical damage and you get that armor and health regen. So you're pretty happy to be a DK up here. It'll probably be a snooze fest up here if the supports don't end up feeding.
Now I do want to watch this mid matchup. This is the one to behold a bit. The Leo style versus Envy Ember Spirit. Leo style, a revered mid laner, and obviously Shadow Fiend. That was cute, Envy. I like that. Little sidestep of the raise right there. But Shadow Fiend is probably one of the big mid lane heroes. If you're a mid laner, you got to have a good Shadow Fiend under your belt.
It's true. It's true. What would be the equivalent in the other roles? I feel like Tidehunter was that way for the offlane.
Yeah.
That hero's been so garbage.
Maybe Beastmaster now. I don't know.
Beastmaster, yeah, I was thinking that.
You gotta be good with your playmaking ults, and you gotta have that little bit of micro in there just in case.
Yeah, carry would be like anti-mage.
Yeah, for sure, anti-mage.
CM support, something like that.
Yeah, I would agree. That all sounds very good. There's always the standard Dota hero. Misery, first blood secured, sniping down Matthew with looks like his Fade Bolt. Nice little catch right there.
Lane. I am shocked.
That
How does DK
lane
ever kill anybody?
He's got the early breathe fire. I'm curious how he levels as a DK, if you still go just as much into Dragon Blood, or if you actually want to, juice up breathe fire a little bit to go for a bit more kill opportunity.
I think probably Dragon's Blood. Just it's snaking. I really see him playing this like a traditional mid lane core. Just given how he plays. If he plays Axe, he'll go farm. He'll get Vanguard. I feel like DK is going to be pretty similar.
Scoping back in on mid lane, Leo style, just inching ahead a bit, 14-3 to Envy's 12-1, but nothing too crazy there. He's got the Wraith Band. Obviously, the bottle's now complete on the other side, but they continue to go at it. Looks like MNZ did level the goo. No point yet into Bristleback. Feels confident with just the 1-2 level.
Yeah, pretty susceptible to harass though, given the no bristle.
He's got the Soul Ring and still 3 tangos to work with. Has that Mango pocketed just in case something arises. How about bottom lane now? Okay. Yeah, Jakiro, one of the better lane harassers for sure. And here you see just burning away on the Pile I Die. There's that AA factor as he does drop.
There he is.
Whoopsie doodsie, right? What was it? Whoopsie doodle.
Whoopsie.
And unfortunately, a little too close to the dual breath. The liquid fire as well, just slowing him down a bit. And, you got to be careful. Now, look, Ace has to wait till the wave pushes forward. Meanwhile, top stuns out onto Matthew. Inkswell, they're able to sidestep. MNZ, though, just flirting a little too close. Ends up going down. And
Good Lord, he wishes he got that bristle, the passive, at that point.
Yeah, I know. He's hopefully not going to pay for that, but it's going to take him a bit as we see the mid lane straight up. Raises all over the place. Envy swift to TP out as Leosaw goes to the high ground, sees him dip, and Envy's already back at the mid lane. Good heads up TP for him because that would have been the end of him otherwise.
Good Lord, there's some mechanics going on here. These two are both playing their absolute comfort heroes. Leo style, known for his SF, Envy, Ember.
Goodness, I unfortunately missed another one there. It's Snake King getting the finish onto Grimstroke. He's got multiple goose stacks now, but he feels pretty confident in tanky. Still only the 1 point into the Dragon's Blood, but he's got wand charges to fall back on, and the Fade Bolt is assisting and not allowing him to have too much right-click damage, so he's just feeling confident. And 3-1 start for Cloud9. This is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it really is. The only problem lane really is this bot lane. Beastmaster Jakiro, so difficult to deal with. It's hard to think of a safe lane that can not feed like Pylai die here in this situation. What support could you really... Even if it's an Ogre, I think Ogre's going to die. It's just so hard.
Yeah, a little more susceptible, but this is what you signed up for, unfortunately, in this kind of laning situation. But top lane, things are going a bit brighter. Oh, the chains not going to find the target onto Bristle, but MNZ nonetheless will be brought down. Envy roaming around, makes his debut to the top lane and is successful in that gank.
He's maxing chains. I have not seen this.
Whoa.
That
all right.
is
no flame guard at all. 3 on chains. This guy has got a different type of anime ready for you. And
really does.
Oh gosh. Misery also feeling confident that he can leave DK to his own devices. Now Misery can kind of roam around and make setup plays happen.
Yeah, I think he's definitely right about that. May as well relieve some pressure off this bottom lane. It's really nice to have that Fade Bolt against the... Actually, he's heading mid. He's not going bot. He's trying to kill Leo style.
He's still floating there. I mean, Grim also joined the bottom lane too. Knowing that he can't really offer a whole lot to that top lane, it might be more of a liability. He decided to head bottom and put some attention there like you were alluding to, but still hasn't really found a way to put himself in. But, okay, Envy is going global now. See if Ace can possibly bait something in. But if Envy wants to make something happen, it has to happen now while there's still a creep wave. And they get the jump in on for the Jakiro. That's a swift takedown. Envy takes that one too and swiftly hops back to the mid lane right where he came from.
And is he going top? Dude, Envy is so active. He is active to the nth degree. It's ridiculous.
This is insane. This is like a 4 position trying to go off or something. He's global right now, all the way to the top lane. Look at the cutoff. Look at this. Remnant forward. And he does it.
It's working.
Killing spree. He's getting kills in every lane. The wild
This is the perfect hero for him, legitimately, because the way that he plays is he's always in side lanes, and having a hero that can just remnant back to the mid lane, so he's not punished for playing in the side lanes this much. It makes so much sense to pick Envy this hero. Also, they were playing Void Spear, which I think has a bit of a similar idea where it's very easy for you to get around the map. He played Storm yesterday, and honestly, it looked awful because it's not the same thing. You can't roam like this.
The downside, though, is that Leo Style was hanging out in that mid lane, and he's yoked, and now he's up in the top lane, and they're going to be taking it to Snake King, and yeah, he's tanky, but not taking enough to handle all that.
Yeah, SF more than capable of killing a DK, more than capable of killing a Morphling too. This is one of the few heroes that has enough burst to take down any of these like quote unquote tanky heroes. You know, you just need to get the right lockdown for his triple raise.
Well, they left Misery to the mid lane on his Rubik to kind of farm up, but guess who's still moving around? We got Envy now scoping out the bottom lane for a possible opportunity. Frank on the Beastmaster is still just level 5. You know, because they've had a lot of support to this bottom lane, his XP has probably been spread out thin a bit. And now Envy has decided to go for mid lane instead. Gets the chains onto Leo Style. But Leo wants to take it right back his way. And Matthew's here now. So he's got some assistance. But has to be careful. Oh, Misery's behind. Good lift. But boom, one snipe, and suddenly Envy hands over that 3 times kill streak, and he puts it into the pocket of Leo Style, Jenkins. Oh, that's not good.
You know, you could argue that maybe this just isn't the patch for this sort of playstyle strictly because of those kill streaks. We just saw right there.
That's true.
That is a level 6 Ember feeding a level 8 Shadow Fiend. Normally you'd think, oh, that can't be that bad. SF is huge. He gets 400 gold for that because of the kill streak, despite Ember being so far behind.
Yeah, suddenly this Ember not going to be looking so good. He could still gank these side lanes a bit, but you know, they better hope that they can continue to space things out and allow the Morphling to really swell up, because I could see Shadow Fiend now reaching that power peak and proving to be a bit troublesome for Cloud9. I mean, he's already rotating out to the top lane. He knows Snake King's going for the tower, but everybody's running in. Misery's here just in case, but he safely makes it out. But Snake King wants to be using this Dragon form in some way, so he reapproaches a bit, maybe hoping that with the help of Envy, they can swipe in and get a quick kill, and they do. Grimstroke goes down, and they find a little more use out of that Dragon form and pick up an Iron Talon for their troubles.
Not bad, not bad.
And they'll finish the tower, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Snake King rushing a Silver Edge as an offlane DK. Shadow Blade, which I presume he'll build into a Silver Edge because there's a Bristleback.
And I was one of those people who did not know of that new change where it reduces the healing in addition to everything else the Silver Edge does. That just makes it that much more potent to go against the likes of Bristleback, let's say, as he's currently up in arms with Envy, hitting him up with the goo. Envy has the Remnant out, but Misery doesn't. Misery was left behind. Envy dives back in, pops the wand, and helps get the finish. Alleviates things a little bit. It's nice to get the Bristleback down again.
Yeah, Bristle dying so much is definitely a big issue for Thunder Predator. It's kind of seems like it's Leo style and Frank versus the world in this game. Bristle's got to catch up. He's at this point maybe just go farm the triangle, hit some ancients while your team makes space. Leo style's huge enough that I don't think the Bristle needs to be doing anything too crazy. You can just kind of chill and the game's going to be fine.
It's hard because at this moment he doesn't know where he can chill. He's going to go to the outpost in the bottom that they just acquired, but if you look at the top lane, you know, the infamous triangle is totally occupied. Here we go, bottom lane, Frank rolling in, big roar, connection, and they swiftly take down Misery. The Ice Blast will find connection. They try to muscle down Ace, but he just flexes the HP pool. Leo style, fighting with everything he's got before he does go down, gets off a couple of raises, gets off the death ulti. It will lead to the takedown of Ace. Envy fighting through, trying to defend the tower, but MNZ is there to club it. And Matthew gets that last hit. Snake King now here, fighting forward. He's got the dragon form, but he is fully surrounded, and Cloud9 drop 4. Only Pylite Ice survives because he's somewhere on a different planet getting himself to level 7.
Oh, boy. Not good. Not good. Losing Envy there, losing the DK. I mean, they lost all 3 of their cores just for a trade with Leo style. I totally understand wanting to kill him. He had a streak. He didn't have a streak. 256 gold for killing a level 11 SF. The gold bounties are just nuts in this patch.
That is so crazy.
You'd think it would be so much more. He's huge.
I don't know where I'm torn between liking the kill bounties giving more than just the flat net worth, you know. It kind of does make sense. Like, this guy's killing a lot of people, you know. You should be greatly rewarded for stopping that, but you could see how it could change up play styles, you know, whether it's the beginning we saw with Envy being so successful in roaming lanes and earning those kills, but he's now short on XP and becomes an easier target, and thus is a more fragile piggy bank, if you will.
Exactly, right. It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, I love that Dota changes these things. Envy is just smoked behind a tower. Why are you there? Why are you there, Eternal Envy?
So damn frisky. He does have Misery right behind him, and we see Snake King creeping in. He's got that Shadow Blade, but there's just not an easy target, and Snake King has to pull off. I think they just pinged him up. They know that he has that Shadow Blade. Envy still wants to make something happen. He's like, just get it. Goes in with the chains. The lift is there, but you know, the positioning, and with the Kiro nearby, and then suddenly Thunder Predator just coming in from behind, they'll just wipe out Pylai Die and take their mid lane back. And Cloud9 are in a position scratching their heads, not really able to accomplish much.
I love that positioning from Leo style. He was really debating that. He was standing close enough that he could that they wanted to go on him, but far enough that he wasn't going to die to it in the trees. So then he just debates Pylai Die in like that. It's really nice.
In the meantime, Ace was able to push to that top tier 2, gets it very low. Now Snake King moving in. Oh, Leo style. Oh, he spotted Ace. He lands out the big ulti. He has his own Shadow Blade and flexes it right on top of Ace. Snake King was nearby, and Ace probably felt comfortable having the DK and Dragon form nearby, but man, the Shadow Fiend just literally creeps out from the shadows and blows him up. Mid lane, possible trouble here. I don't know how aggressive Thunder Predator want to be in this mid lane, but that is a big feather in the cap for this game for Thunder Predator.
Nice job from Leo style not revealing the Shadow Blade. He had the components for it, but he kept it on the courier until he was ready to make that play. So they did.
Nice double chains, Ice Blast, boom! They blow up the Jakiro, and Matthew also going to get sniped down. Beautiful takedown of supports here coming out from Cloud9. It's something they're going to need more. They need to break these big cores. But Bristle, I mean, he's got a hood and an Ogre Club and that frickin' faded brooch. So damn good.
That's for me.
Yeah, that's a nice item. He's so tanky. He's so tanky at this point.
Yeah.
But it's a nuts item.
I don't know what kind of damage you have working with Cloud9 to get a finish on a guy
Style.
like that, but yeah, Leo's in trouble. Cold feet, but he manages to run out. Envy with a bank shot side, chains, connection. Nice stun. And, that felt like Leo style kind of handing over a bit of a freebie there.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like that. A little bit of a feat. I think he's looking again for that solo kill. But the reason the first one was so successful was because it was, of course, the blink reveals, or sorry, the Shadow Blade reveals. So they had no idea that he was going to do that. Now they do, and look at the amount of sentries on the Radiant side now. They are everywhere.
Yeah, both teams are going to have to maintain good vision now that you have one for the DK and obviously one for the Shadow Fiend at this point. But it still feels like Thunder Predator have a good stronghold on a lot of the map, claiming both jungles. Oh, mid lane, 3-pointer, Fade Bolt. But obviously Jakiro on the tankier side for supports, and a level 1 Ice Blast shouldn't be too much trouble. Who do you think the pressure's on right now to kind of keep action happening? Oh, hold on. I don't have to wait too long to see more action as they come crossing paths with Misery, looking for the River Rune, and they take him down. But I guess back to the question here, who is it on to kind of make action happen?
Definitely Thunder Predator. You have 3 basically carries on the side of C9. DK can be a carry, Ember can be a carry, Morphling is without a doubt one of the best late game heroes in Dota. And then on the other side, we have Thunder Predator, who has a Beastmaster, that's an offlaner. We have Bristleback, that's an offlaner. And then SF, who is a semi-carry. So their late game is definitely going to be pretty rough if they go to the late game with C9.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, heavy momentum coming out from Thunder Predator through this bottom lane. They respond with a tier 2 themselves. Ace was successful in finishing out that tier 2 top. And as soon as Thunder Predator take that tower, and knowing they have vision here as they've planted many wards in the jungle, they pop a smoke and look for an opportunity to strike. And it could be here on the mid lanes. They just finished taking out the tower. Oh no, not Pi.
Oh, Pi let die.
Pi's trying to walk through the river. That's a scary that's an alleyway at night that you just don't go down, and he does. But he's got goons, and they're hiding in the dark, and they come out, and they look to strike. Good Ice Blast there, and they swiftly take down the Grim. He does get off his ultimate, though, and so does Leo Style. With that and some raises, they strike fear into Envy. They try to force him back, but Envy swiftly jumps out and somehow makes it away. Somehow, no serious bloodshed yet, just the Grimstroke goes down, and Thunder Predator back off.
Could have been a lot worse. That was a really nice double roar, but they did not have the damage to follow up. The SF was a little too far away, so the ulti didn't exactly do quite the amount of damage that you would expect. But it could have been good. That was such a nice Ice Blast. That was like a 3, almost 4, 5-man Ice Blast, along with the double chains on the 2 supports. The combos have been beautiful from C9 in this game.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing flashes of what make these players very special when they're trying to like synergize everything up. Now as they push through this top lane, I saw Snake King committing the Dragon form here. I don't know if he was looking for an opening, but for now, just glad to farm through the Thunder Predator side. We see Thunder Predator kind of drawing out that area as probably something to approach. But Cloud9 just all in on this northern half of the map right now.
I would be careful if you show another hero bot. I feel like C9 could just run right into Rosh. Thunder Predator does have the Hawk though scouting it, so that's why they're so confident pushing down here like
very
this,
true.
Because they know that they're not taking it.
This is what I heard is actually an advantage for Dire. I think majority of people think Radiant is the better side for various reasons. But one thing going for Dire is in these kind of situations, they can pressure this bottom lane, pull Cloud9 away from Rosh, and then take it for themselves. I mean, Radiant have the luxury of they typically go for the top tier 1 and open that jungle, and then they just have Rosh in a closer proximity. But Dire, if they happen to have bottom and can pressure it, that means it's a long distance for the Radiant to cover, and it pulls their team apart in a way from a Rosh defense.
Definitely true, and also the bot lane does have the Ancients too, so that's always really nice for Dire. But with that being said, there is an Ember Spirit on the enemy team, so they actually do have an answer to that bot lane counter push.
Very true.
Because of the Fire Remnants. That's always so nice to have an Ember. You basically don't need to worry about lanes. Same with Kunkka with the X marks. It's always so easy.
Absolutely, and a totally fair point. Cloud9 have answers for split pressure and can still feel comfortable defending the precious Rosh area. Not really looking to do it yet for themselves. Envy has a DD now bottled up, but both teams have kind of taken it to the farm now. Both owning their own jungle front and just trying to swell up. This game is pretty even when you even break down the net worth. Somehow Snake King is still holding command at top of net worth in this game, and then
How
the
does he-
Bristle, and
how
then
does he do
finally
it?
the Morphling. Like, what is this about?
I don't understand how he does it. I really don't. He's a boring do nothing off lane DK.
He's
I
got
mean,
bounce
nothing-
passes and bank shots, Jenkins. Like, how is he getting all these points? You know, he's
No
2 and
idea.
2.
No idea. He doesn't have a farming item. Nothing. He's just hitting creeps. Maybe that's the Iron Talon. It's got to be the Iron Talon.
Right? He did get it pretty early here, and now they do move into the Rosh pit. They don't do it super fast, but fast enough. The problem is that Thunder Predator know what's happening. They drop a beautiful Macropyre right onto the front lawn, but they lose their Jakiro shortly thereafter, and now they are down 4-5. Cloud9 push down, but here comes Leo Style. He's thinking about trying to make an approach, but he's going to be moving into a sentry ward right there. Roar's out. They're locking out Snake King. The BKB was popped, but he can't reflect all that damage away, so he's finished. He has no buyback, so if Thunder Predator can find their way into the pit and go for the finish here, there's going to be no response from the DK, but Cloud9 are hanging around. They're hitting him with Fade Bolts. Envy puts down the Remnant. He wants to jump in. He wants to try to grab it. Lots of damage onto Leo Style, but Leo Style is able to grab the Aegis. He will be fine. He runs out the other side, and Matthew and company move on in, looking to go for Ace. Ace is forced to flex and swiftly waveform away. The chase is on, though. MNZ. Oh, they step back, and it's not going to be the most impressive ulti. But it does force them to change targets and look for Envy here. Envy, though, hit with the Ice Path, hit with the Raise, and he's done. They do manage to get the finish onto Leo Style and force out the Aegis, but this is looking like Thunder Predator's fight. Ice Path is there, Dual Breath, and Misery will fall. Just as we see Ace create a bit of distance. Obviously, Snake King's back now, but unfortunately, it looks like the fight is going to conclude. And based on the recap, it's Thunder Predator who are big winners.
Man, Leo Style clutched that fight by using the Requiem to both fear C9 away, and also he took Rosh from about like 10% HP to nothing. So he did right on top of Rosh, so it did full damage. And as a result, he got the Aegis and made that fight look really, really good for Thunder Predator.
And it looks like they're not backing off yet. They want to kind of keep taking this momentum to Cloud9. Leo Styles out front. They have their own sentry. As Snake King was trying to walk on forward. And they recognize the vision on the high ground and take that down. Snake King goes into dragon form. Cloud9 want to fight this. Stuns out onto Bristle, but Bristle's sideways here. So they're not going to get really any damage off. Where is it going to come? Envy gets the chains, but I don't know. Where is the knockout punch from Cloud9? I don't think they have that right now.
It is hard, though, for Thunder Predator to just straight up siege into these towers. There's a lot of chip damage from C9. So they decide they're going to go for a smoke wraparound.
They just draw out the plan for all of us to see. As we'll potentially catch them crossing paths with Ace. Do they want to cut left? No, they go right to the mid lane where they see Envy. Leo Style with the help of the Inkswell. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Inkswell into Requiem. Mwah! From Leo Style. That's a spicy salsa if I've ever seen it there, Jenkins. My goodness.
With the Arcane Rune, too.
Very nice.
Really nice.
Wow, and there they go. On to Pi. A few ice cubes for the drink while we're at it. Misery next, he goes. And now it's hemorrhage time here. Thunder Predator just grabbing anything they want in the area.
With the Beastmaster, you got to be careful feeding kills right in front of your base like that. It looks like Thunder Predator wants to take this high ground.
And they got the Necro Book,
Look at the
level
damage.
3. And with the Beastmaster, they could just go in. Bristle acting as that battering ram, happy to tank up all the damage. You know, they recognize that they can't properly defend on Cloud9. They have Ace pushing out that mid lane, but I think they might just be sacking their first set of racks if they can't do a whole lot. But no, Thunder Predator deciding to pull off a bit. Maybe a fake back. Whatever it may be, they are not going to commit.
I think just chilling and playing in the enemy triangle makes a lot of sense. Although there are a bunch of bounties, so it's okay. Yeah, they're pinging. They're saying, "Hey guys, don't leave this area. Don't leave." I know the cores want to go get bounties because it's gold, but let's just stay here. Keep C9 in their base. But it doesn't look like they're going to walk into the triangle. They know that this is up.
Well, Cloud9 doing their own smoke play, maybe hoping to catch someone from Thunder Predator TP out to the lane, whether it be the pushed in mid lane or pushed out bottom lane. They have totally just headed to the other side of the map to take the free economy that's available there. Oh, nice little pickup there for Snake King as he grabs the Titan Sliver, though.
Oh, that's a good item.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good item on DK.
Yes,
You
it
are
is.
so stoked.
Yeah,
They're right in front of the base, though, on Thunder Predator.
yeah,
You have to be careful.
if they can't find him, they'll make them come out. And now Cloud9 have to get back to base, if they care about these racks, that is. Oh, it's too late to care. They're already gone. So if you cared, I'm sorry. You missed your chance.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Wow. I mean, interesting call to sack the racks.
Dire's bottom tower is
It's
under
it's
attack.
interesting. It's very ballsy to do that. You know, you have to be in a very rough situation in order to do that. But I think it does speak to their experience, is that they know that there's no point in going back and throwing the game when realistically, if there's a beast right in front of your base,
Dire's bottom
you're not
tower
defending that
is under
racks. It's
attack.
not happening. So
Radiant are
it's-
scanning.
let's see if it pays off. Maybe they get some rapier late game. Maybe they just have Morphling pop off with this BKB. There's still possibility. In Dota, Rax doesn't really matter as much as it used to, because there's just these ridiculous 60-minute items
Yeah.
that you get. You can get rapiers that have true strike now. People
sure.
get level 30, and that unlocks all talents. Like the late game is
Dire's
so
bottom
absurd
tower
right
is
now.
under
It's
attack.
not even Dota. It's some Mario Party bullshit. It's just some random mini game.
We'll see if Cloud9 can get some couple of lucky box hits. I don't play Mario Party enough to throw an analogy in there. I'm sorry, Jenkins. All right, they're trying to collect stars, right? Stars. That's it.
I think so.
I haven't played that game since I was N64, and I got mad blisters on my hand from trying to spin that stuff. But all right, Cloud9 do get a little bit of farm time. You know, it could be worse. You know, other teams in this position, they would be stuck indoors like we all are now, and not able to get a lot, or wait until one person can safely go out and get some bread and milk and bring it back home. Cloud9 do recognize that there's a free part of the map to work with. They smoke out there, and they at least get some economy going. The problem is now that they've returned home, they might already get caught out. Snake King, half of his life deleted just like that. He's forced now to BKB, and Shadowblade out to safety. That's a defensive BKB, though.
Radiant's
And
middle
Thunder
tower
Predator
is
could now
under
take the
attack.
fight to them.
That's the Titan Sliver that saved him there. The magic resist
Right?
and the status resist. For sure. Otherwise, the beast gets the roar off.
Wow. I mean, he's counting those lucky stars, but here they are in that position. They're going to be stuck inside. They thought they had a little bit of a safety net farming just that far out from home, but Thunder Predator do commit. I thought they committed even the roar for that, but it looks like they didn't. Primal Roar's still
Yeah,
ready to go.
He was just about to press it. He does have the blink dagger now, so it's a lot easier to get that initiation. He doesn't have to slowly walk in. He can blink in and grab somebody. And they also have a telescope on the Grimstroke, so even bigger initiation range on this Beastmaster.
And Thunder Predator continue to hold the Cloud9 side of the map. As here we see C9 creep out. Try to get a little bit of vision down. Get that high ground back their way. And Thunder Predator might be playing the safe, holding out for a possible Rosh. But okay, there we go. Jump in. Quick BKB from Snake King. Obviously, he's still going to get roared up, but there's going to be no follow-up damage. And now he pops the Dragon Form, fights on in. Him and Envy, though, hit with the Grim ult. Not much to stack on top of it. Pi is the first casualty of this, but nothing too significant. Now the jump to the high ground. Ace, good damage. Swift takedown. Bristleback out. And Thunder Predator looks like they're going to withdraw. And this could be fantastic timing. If Cloud9 could take a good fight here, the Rosh could come up, and that could be something they take right out from under the nose of Thunder Predator. A jump back in, though, from Leo style. Targets Envy a bit. Cloud9, be careful here. You don't want to play with fire.
Yeah, Leo does have the Requiem now, so I think a big reason that fight was not so great for Thunder Predator was because, of course, the Requiem's down from the earlier initiation onto Snake King. So now they have it, and Thunder Predator is not anywhere near as afraid as they were. But Ace is looking pretty scary in these fights, honestly. He's looking pretty powerful.
He's getting up there. He still is like neck and neck with Snake King on net worth, but we are in a situation with Shadow Fiend and Bristle holding at the top, courtesy, I imagine, of getting those racks. Mid lane, oh no! They've caught out Envy. They roar him down and finish him off, and he's going to be on the sidelines for nearly a minute without a buyback. And Snake King nearby, but obviously doesn't have a dragon form or real way to defend and help out. Now Thunder Predator, I wonder if they just try to go for Rosh.
They see Snake. They saw him with the sentry.
Oh, they've just dropped a
gonna
new
walk in?
sentry. They're going to see him now. They see him.
MJZ, Spade.
Yeah, and look who comes in from behind. Leo style. Quick stun, though. And that is going to be enough for Snake King to make it away. I mean, I don't think Leo wants to pop a BKB and swiftly try to take down Snake King. He will hold it in case there's a more important fight to follow. But because...
no BKB on Snake King.
Yeah, because
Maybe
no BKB on Snake King, they're going to go in for the rush themselves. Oh, wait. They pull out. I don't know what they're thinking. They're thinking we'll push out top lane first and get the outpost. That would be unfortunate. What if Cloud9 TP'd to that outpost and then ran at the Rosh from that angle?
That would be quite unfortunate. That would be a mistake. That would definitely. I've had that happen in pubs. That is not a fun. It is not fun to be surrounded in the Rosh pit because you forgot that outpost. Oh wait, these aren't shrines.
So they do take it back, and now they pop a smoke, which Leo Style puts himself inside the pit and goes to work. The backstaff, though, the backliners, they're going to scout out. Oh, they saw each other in the river.
But Leo Style and MNZ are just taking.
Yeah,
Rosh
I don't
right
think
now.
Cloud9 know they're in there doing it. They just saw a
this
couple
is
of TP
cool.
members and figured that they're not doing it yet, but they've already done it. And Leo Style now has a free Aegis. Cloud9, they're still on the high ground hanging around. Do you want to hang around or fight, or do you want to leave? Oh, they decide they got to leave. They just have to make these commitments faster.
Okay, Thunder Predator. That was. I see you. That was next level. I see you. They made it look. They made it look so believable that was like a 5-man smoke into 5-man smoke. Oh no! I don't want to take this fight.
Yeah.
You know, they jumping up, but really it was a 100% just a bait. They wanted to run into that smoke and look scared like that. They wanted to make it look like that. God, that was some nice Dota. That was some beautiful Dota.
Thunder Predator with some big brain plays, and they will be rewarded for that. Xiaofeng gets to go back and farm. He's picked up a Crystallis and got the Daedalus recipe good to go. He's just about got it done. And at some point, he has a Paladin sword now. So where he lacks lifesteal, he suddenly just has. And, wow. Yeah, he's looking very, very scary. But he's not even the biggest net worth, Jenkins. That is Bristleback, who's got his AC, his Lotus, his Halberd. Like, how are you going to deal with that guy?
They can't. I mean, they have to Silver Edge him. They have to isolate him. But it's going to be really hard when Thunder Predator can just stand in front of your racks, push the lane, and the top lane's going to naturally push in. So they don't really have much of a reason to split up other than grabbing this adjacent mid lane. But that's quite easy. They can do that together as they're doing right now. The lanes are so close. Oh, they see Rubik.
They're just going cross-country right now, from the bottom through the mid, now to the top. And as you mentioned, they probably got a peep at little Rubik and wanted to make chase, but no catch there. But they will now secure the perimeter of, just outside Cloud9's base. And it's going to feel like Cloud9 really have no safe places to go. Snake King creeps out on his Shadow Blade, but he has to be careful to not be spotted. Pi
has a gem.
has a gem to go out to debunk, but he gets caught with Aurora and drops the gem just as fast as he picks it up. Matthew will be taken down in response, but Leo Style begins to go unhinged as he charges on in and finishes off Envy. Envy now going to be out, has a buyback, does use it now, but they already lost Ace, and Ace doesn't have a buyback. They're about to lose Snake King. Snake King rushes back, somehow makes it out. But Cloud9 already suffer big losses in this fight. Thunder Predator could walk away with a big win if they want to take this really slow, or they could press on. But it looks like they will consider the former. Oh boy.
So I'm not sure on this interaction because I haven't actually seen it before in pubs at all. But I'm pretty sure that Silver Edge works against Morph because Ace just melted even though he was morphing. I'm pretty sure it works against Morph.
Bristle, happy to tank the damage and reflect it all back as he turns around. Snake tries to get in there with that Silver Edge damage, but as we see, Bristle's still holding strong. Nice Ice Path that was stolen, locks them in their spot. But the Tier 3 will ultimately go down. And it looks like that is going to be all that Thunder Predator want for now, or not. Blink over. holds out the roar until Envy returns and then finishes him off. I don't know if he pump faked out the chains or not, but he had that roar ready to go. That was a very nice play from Matthew. Or sorry, not
that was
Matthew,
cool.
from Frank.
They pump faked the roar, so he used the Sleight of Fist, which let MJZ set up with the Ice Path, which is just a guaranteed lockdown on top of that Sleight of Fist. That was super nice.
And there go the first racks, and now 14,
Second racks,
15K.
actually.
Oh, sorry, second set of racks. Oh, that's right.
They
That's
sacked
right.
the first one.
Oh.
They gave it up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And look at this. They're suddenly just 2 steps away from Megas. And this could be the final hurrah of Snake King and Cloud9 as he takes point with that BKB Dragon form, but the BKB already expires. They do manage to take down Leo Styles' Aegis, but MNZ confident to be way out in front and a problem for Cloud9, trying to pull focus onto himself while the Necro Book is just chipping away at the racks. Snake King forced to deal with it, now hit with the ult to jump in, the roar, to stun and lock Ace, and Ace is down and out. He'll be gone for over a minute without a buyback. Double takedowns on the Morphling. I think we're looking at the end here. There it is. GG called for misery. It's going to be Thunder Predator taking game number 1.
Wow. Nice recovery. Really nice recovery from Thunder Predator. C9 seems to have a lot of decent early games. Even in these games where they're losing, their early game seems to be fine. And I kind of feel like that makes sense. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I feel like when it comes to these more experienced teams that are experienced together, that have a lot of synergy, that is what shows up in like the mid to late game. Whereas in the early game, it's mostly individual mechanics.
Yeah, exactly.
Lane matchups, communicate with the individual in your lane, ganking one person with another person, something like that, as opposed to this full 5-man team strategic kind of style of Dota. Because, man, Cloud9 fell apart after the mid game. They really did.
Yeah. And I think you said it exactly as it is. Of course, in the laning phase, when it's mostly on mechanics, these players will be able to follow through. But it's once they get that farm and come together as a team, somebody's got to call the shots. Somebody's got to know what's going on, and then they have to trust in that person. And that's where things seem to not be totally solid yet for Cloud9. But it was a cute start. I mean, the Snake King off lane had a really pretty good start. And then Envy's roaming Ember Spirit looked actually incredible. It looked like it was going to be something new. But, it's Leo style you're leaving behind. And Leo style on a mid lane Shadow Fiend, you can't just leave him to his own devices. He will eat up that opportunity and then flex with all that momentum.
It might just not be the patch for this, to be honest. It feels like it's not. Like that death with the kill streak, and he was so easy to kill too because he was underleveled. That kind of sells that idea to me. I don't know. I'm pretty sold on that it's just not a good patch for exclusive roaming like that.
Yeah, entertaining nonetheless. Always entertaining, of course, with Cloud9. But it is Thunder Predator who best this series. Oops, I just accidentally gave Cloud9 that win. Whoops, it's Thunder Predator who got it. 1-0. But remember, folks, this is a best of 3, so we're going to cut to a break right now. When we come back, it's time to get into Game 2 of Cloud9 versus Thunder Predator here at the Beyond the Summit Pro Series. See you soon.